morning, children. In last class, we learned about the equatorial forest region. So, in this lesson, we learned about that the earth is divided into three zones, that is the torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. So, and today, and in the last class, we learned that the equatorial forest region is located in the torrid zone. Whereas, example, the earth between the equator to the north and south are the torrid zones. And here I said you that here the sun rays, the sun falls directly. The sun rays falls directly over this zones. And here the climate is very hot and humid. Either it can be it is very hot or it is very moist or wet. And here even the humidity is more. And I told you that some of the continents, in some of the countries, we can find this equatorial forest. That is in Asia, I told you that this in Asia, the countries which have the equatorial forest are Malaysia and Indonesia. In India, we can see this type of forest in Western Ghats, in places near the Northeast India, and even in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, you can just find this equatorial forest. And in South America, you can just see in some countries which equatorial forests are there. They are Ecuador, Colombia, and Brazil. That is which is found in South America. And even in some parts of Australia also, you can see this type of equatorial forest. And even in Africa, you can just find this equatorial forest in some of the countries like Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, Guyana, and Congo. So these are the countries which is located in Africa. You can see this type of equatorial forest. And even we learned about the climate of equatorial forest. How is the climate of equatorial forest, children? The equatorial forest is also called as tropical thunderstorms. Why it is called as tropical thunderstorms? Because here what happens, the water surrounding the forest, it just starts to, water starts to evaporate. While evaporating, what happens? It just starts to evaporate and it forms clouds. And this forms a cloud and it brings heavy rainfalls in this forest. Here you can just see the heavy rainfalls with thunderstorms every afternoon. Every afternoon it receives more rainfall, heavy rainfall. And even the humidity is also high in this regions. And the temperature. And the temperature of equatorial forest region is about 30 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius. And here the equatorial forest is also called as the evergreen forest. Why it is called as evergreen forest? Because it is covered by thick trees and grasses. That is why here the equatorial forests are called as evergreen forest. And you can just find out a new species. You can just find out more animal, birds, plants, shrubs, medicinal plants, trees, different types of plants, trees, shrubs, animals, birds, water animals, marine animals, reptiles. You can just see a variety of species in this region. That is the equatorial forest region. And here the scientists and researchers they find at least they identify new species. What they do, the scientists discover a new species of plants and animals every year. So what happens? In every year, what happens? They find out a new plant growing or the new animal getting born. So these are new species, and no species is nothing but a group of it is a group of animal or plants which have its of its different kind is called as species. So this much we learned in the last class. Here you can just see the trees. Here trees are divided into distinct layers. Here the trees are covered in distinct layers, and it is very close to each other. It's very close. One tree agidagmele ಇನ್ನೊಂದು tree idagutte. All it's close to each other. They all shed leaves at different times of the year, so the forest is always green. So what happens if the tree, in the tree the leaves falls also, what happens? The new leaf is grown. So that is why it's always green. What happens? What happens? Whenever it wants the trees, the leaves from trees shed. When it sheds, what happens? Again the new leaf is replaced. So that is why you can just see the trees always green in color in equatorial forest region. So here we are just learning. The tree is divided into 4 layers. Here the trees have 4 distinct layers. So it has 4 distinct layers. The first one is emergent layer. Emergent layer. The second one is canopy layer. Canopy layer. The third one is understory. And the last one will be the forest floor. So these are the 4 distinct layers where the tree is divided into 4 distinct layers. The first one is emergent layer. The second one is canopy layer. The third one is understory layer. And the last one is forest floor. So here in this layer, this 4 layers I'll be discussing you now. What is the reason why it is divided into 4 distinct layers? The first one, the top layer, the first one is emergent layer. So I'm just reading out the emergent layer in your textbook. The top layer, known as the emergent layer, has tall trees covering around 200 feet to 210 feet above the forest floor. This layer receives a lot of sunlight and rain. So what happens? Now this is a forest floor. Forest floor is nothing but where the forest, the ground of the forest is called as forest floor. So what happens? Here the trees are growing. So here the trees, the height of a tree over here is about 200 to 210 meters height. Height alla feet. It's how much? 200 to 210 feet. So what happening here? The tree starts growing from the forest floor, and it just grows up to a height of 200 to 210 feet. So what happens when it's growing up or high towards the sky? What happens? Here the sunlight. So here the sun rays are falling directly over the top of the tree, and even the rainfall is receiving more. It's receiving more amount of rainfall on the top of the tree. So this layer is called as emergent layer. Okay, the first layer is called as emergent layer, where the trees grows up to a height of 200 to 210 feet, where the top of the tree receives more rainfall and sunlight. Hence, this layer is called as emergent layer. Second one, the canopy is the second layer, which forms a roof or an umbrella over the other layers with a maze of leaves and branches. So what happens? Again, here only the growing. So what happens? Here only some branches are formed and the tree is growing. So you can just see. You can just see this one as so you can just see the tree along with the branches. So where the trees which are growing like an umbrella, you can just see the trees which are growing below the emergent layer is called as canopy. Why? Because it just forms a umbrella shape to protect itself. What happens? It's just growing into an umbrella shape. And why it is in umbrella shape and it is covered by leaves and branches. How it is covered? It is covered by leaves and branches. So this layer, the second layer is called as canopy. The first one is emergent layer and the second one is canopy layer. The third is understory layer. What do you mean by understory layer? I just learn up. Just listen, children. Thus, understory is the next layer which has small trees, shrubs, ferns, orchids, and creepers. The creepers and vines climb the tall trees to reach the sunlight that cannot be received due to thick canopy above them. The largest concentration of insects is found in this layer. So what happens below the trees? Some of the shrubs or herbs which is grown below the tree, that is the shrubs, herbs. Some of the plants are grown under the tree, so that are called as shrubs, herbs. So what happens here? Here some of the creepers andre idru jotegene ondara marad jotene some of the creepers will be grown. Why it is grown? Why it's grown means it wanted some sunlight or water to observe for this shrubs or the plants which are growing under the tree. So here it doesn't get any sunlight. Why it doesn't get sunlight or water easily? Because of canopy. Because of canopy layer. Why canopy layer cannot get some water? Because the upper layer of the tree is covered. It's fully covered by leaves and branches. So that when the water falls also, it's not receiving any rainfall or sunlight. It is covered by thick leaves or it is covered by thick trees. So that is why here the sunlight cannot be reached or the rain cannot be reached over here. And here in this place you can just see some of the insects, concentration of insects. So the concentration of insects you can just find some of the poisonous insects. See, when you have seen in Discovery Channel, Man vs. Wild in Discovery Channel, you can just see that person moving inside the forest with the help of fire or the torchlight or any light which is along with him. and he just goes carefully because you can find some of the insects which can bite him, which can cause poison inside him, and it may lead to death. So what happens here in this region, you can just see more amount of insects. The concentration of insects will be very more. We can't say that the insects are poisonous or non-poisonous. So we have to be careful while traveling in this forest because there is no sunlight. It will be very dark. With the help of sunlight, you can just walk. The last layer is forest floor. The forest floor is the lowest part of the place. Forest floor is the last and lowest layer. It is dark because of sunlight being shaded by the canopy. This layer consists of decomposed leaves and fruits fallen from the upper layers. So why? What happened? Because of the height. Because of height of the tree, what happens? The sunlight is not receiving anymore, or the rain is not receiving more. So what happens here when there is no sunlight and water? What happens? The leaves which are around the trees just start to fall down over this forest floor. The fruits or the leaves which have grown, it just falls down towards the forest floor. Where when it falls down, what happens? Due to its heat and water, due to rain and heat, what happens? This leaves and fruits which are fallen down, which is fallen down, gets rotten, gets decomposed. Decompose, and what is the meaning of decompose? Which is giving bad smell, which gets rotten, and it just produces the foul smell. So that is called as decomposed. And here you can just find out some of the important trees. The trees like redwood, cinchona, mahogany, rubber, and ebony. So these are some of the trees which you can find in the equatorial forest region. Which are the trees which are found in equatorial forest? The main trees which are found in equatorial forests are redwood, cinchona, mahogany, rubber, and ebony. So these are the important trees which are found in equatorial forest region. So the next one which we are going to learn is about the the next one which we are going to learn is about the wildlife. So what is the meaning of wildlife? What is the meaning of wildlife? Wildlife is nothing but the life which is present in the forest is called as wildlife. So here when we come to wildlife, what happens here? You can just come to know that in equatorial forest region, what are the animals, what are the reptiles, what are the birds found over here? We can see now what are the animals found. Either it can be animals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, or anything. We can just see now what are the animals present in forest. I just read, you just listen, children. The equatorial rainforests are home to a variety of animals, birds, and amphibians. Though the forests cover barely 2% of Earth's surface, it is home to over 50% of plants and animals on Earth. Many plant-eating animals and birds such as monkeys, lemurs, flying squirrels, bats, parrots, toucans, macaws, and hummingbirds, etc. live in the canopy. Chimpanzees, apes, gorillas, elephants, and jaguars are found on the forest floor. Large varieties of spiders, chameleons, insects, lizards, crocodiles, alligators, snakes, and turtles are found here. Here, the famous big snake anaconda is also found in the Amazon basin in South America. So now I just read you out that. What did you understand from this, children? You understood that you can just see different types of birds, animals, and amphibians. You can just see the varieties of birds, animals, amphibians, and many more, etc. And here, the Earth's surface. So here, the Earth's surface. In Earth's surface, 2% of land is covered by forest. What is the percentage of land covered by forest? It is 2%. 2% of land is covered by forest. And here, you can just see the 50% of the plants and animals on Earth. In this forest, you can just see the 50% of birds and animals. Found here. So, I just tell you what the birds, you all know that the birds fly in the sky and some birds do not fly and they give their young ones, right? That are birds. Animals are nothing but it is also called, some of the animals are also called as mammals because it just gives birth to young ones. Amphibians. What do you mean by amphibians, children? What is the meaning of amphibians? Amphibians are nothing but it is an animals which live both in land and water is called as amphibians. Example, I just tell you an example for amphibian. Frog. See, you can just see the frogs living in water as well as in land. In land, it just hops. In water, it just sits and it just stops in water also. So, such animal which lives on land and water is called as amphibians. So, here there are some of the examples of the bird's name. The bird's name, the birds like bats, parrots, toucans, macaws, and some of the hummingbirds. These are the birds which are found in forests. And even some of the plant-eating animals like monkey, lemur, and flying squirrels. So, what happens? Birds, the birds which you find here is bats, parrots, toucans, macaws, and hummingbird. These are the birds which are present in this equatorial forest region. And monkey, lemur, flying squirrels are an example for plant-eating animals. So, which you can find in the trees. So, the next one, and you can just see the animals which flutter, hop, and climb are found in the undergrowth. So I told you some of the names of the animals, that is the lemurs, flying squirrels, monkeys, hummingbirds, toucans, parrot, macaws. This and all are found in the canopy region, where it has a dense leaves, which the leaves are covered in more number. You can just see the birds and animals in the canopy region. And here are some of the animals which can flutter. F-L-U-T-T-E-R, flutter, hop and climb. The animals which flutter, hop and climb is found in which region? It is found in the undergrowth. So you all know that the birds fly. It says birds flies from one tree to the other tree, and even the flying squirrels also, and even the monkeys climb from one tree to another. So you all know this. The animals and the birds move from one place to another with the help of trees. So it is just found in the canopy region. Whereas the animals which can flutter means flying. Hop means jumping, and climb, which helps in climbing the trees. And this type of animals which flutter, hop and climb are found in undergrowth. Undergrowth means it is just found below the which region? It is just found in the forest floor. And the animals which live here undergrowth are chimpanzees, apes, gorilla, elephants and jaguars. So the animals which live under the undergrowth are chimpanzees. Yeah, you have all seen the chimpanzees. It can climb or hop from place to place from the tree. Apes, you all seen apes. Apes is nothing but it is a kind of species which belong to the gorilla family or the chimpanzee family. Gorillas, you have seen even the gorillas also. Elephants. Jaguars are nothing but it is a type of species which is related to cheetah or python. Sorry, which is related to panther or cheetah. Such related animals are called as jaguars. Here the jaguars run very fast. It runs very fast. If we are running here, it just runs with a speed of 100 to 150 km per minute. And large varieties of spiders, chameleons, insects, lizards, crocodile, alligators, snakes and turtles are found here. So what happens? Below the land, you can just see some of the snakes, alligators, crocodile, spiders, insects, lizards, and turtles. Below the forest floor, you can just find out some of the animals which are lying under the ground. What are they? They are snakes, alligators, crocodiles, spiders, insects, lizards, and turtles are found in this region. So, and you all know that even you have all watched a film, Anaconda, right? Have you all watched Anaconda film? Yes, you can just see in Anaconda film a biggest snake, a biggest and the largest or the longest snake So you have seen the size of anaconda. It's very long. It can just rotate the human into pieces and it can just swallow. One human nange nunga shakti ide. So the longest or the largest snake, which is known as anaconda, is found in South America. It is found in Amazon forest in South America. It is found in South America. So I think you understood the wildlife of equatorial forest region. The last is the people who are living in this region are called by different names in different countries. So we are just going to learn how are the people in different countries are known as. The people who are living in forests, what they are called, children? What they are called, the people who are living in forests. The people are called as tribes. Why they are called tribes? Because they are living in the forest. People living in the equatorial region. The people in equatorial region will be learning. I just read out once. Just listen carefully, children. The equatorial forest hinder the survival of many settlements. Only some tribal people live here who depend on the surroundings for food and shelter. Some well-known tribes of the rainforest are Pygmies and Bantus of the Congo region, the Semangs of Malaysia, Yanomami of Brazil, the Amazon Indians, Kubus of Sumatra, and Dayaks of Borneo. These tribes usually hunt or gather food, which includes fish, berries, nuts, insects, and meat. So the people who are living in forests for their food and shelter are called as tribes. The people who are living in forests for food and shelter. The people living in forest for food and shelter are called as tribes. So why they settle down in forest? Because for the survival, to protect, to survive, to live. They just make out some places to live. To survive, they make some places to live. And here, some of the tribal people, why they live here? Why they survive in forest? Because why do they survive? Means because they depend on food and shelter. They just protect them from the animals or the beasts which are living in the forest. They just take some shelter. And even they want food to live. So that is why the people gather here in forest for the both food and shelter. And here there are some of the tribe people. In each country, the tribe people are called in different names. So Pygmies and Bantus. So these are the tribe people. Pygmies and Bantus are the tribe people where they are found in Congo in Africa continent. Next, in Malaysia, the tribe peoples are called as Semangs in Malaysia. And the people in Brazil is called as Yanomami. Yanomami. Where the Yanomami, the tribe people by name Yanomami is found where? It is found in Brazil. And even some of the people like Amazon Indians are also found in Brazil. And in Sumatra, they are called as Kubus. What they are called? Kubus. They are a type of people, Kubus, called in Sumatra Islands. And the last is Dayaks. Where the tribe people Dayaks are called, it is called in Borneo. So these are the different countries. In different countries, the people or the tribes who are living in forests are called in different names. What are they? Pygmies and Bantus in Congo. The tribe people who are living in Congo are called as Pygmies and Bantus. Whereas in Malaysia, the people are called as Semangs. And in Brazil, they are called as Yanomami. Yanomami. In Brazil, there are some of the Amazon Indians which they are found in Amazon forest. And in Sumatra, the tribe people are called as Kubus. And in Borneo, they are called as Dayaks. Why they live in forest? They just live in forest. Why these tribes live usually in forest? Because to hunt animals. To hunt animals for their food. For living, for eating food, they just hunt animals in the forest. And when they are hunting the animals, here it includes the fish, nuts, berries, insects, and some of the meat of animals. So, the next one. Europeans who sailed to these lands to trade in Southeast Asian countries and Africa introduced plantation agriculture in which crops are grown on large scale for commercial purpose. The crops grown by this method are tea, coffee, rubber, and cocoa. So what happens here, children? Here, some of the Europeans came from the sea. When they were coming towards the sea, what happens? They just went towards the Southeast Asia. They just had a trade in So what happened here? The Europeans are nothing but the people who live in Europe is called as Europeans. So Europeans just made a trade with which countries? They just made a trade with Southeast Asian countries. They just made Southeast Asian countries trade. When they made trade with South Asian countries, they just introduced a agriculture called plantation agriculture. Which agriculture they found? They just found a plantation agriculture. So what do you mean by plantation? Plantation is nothing but the plants which are grown in more and more number. Which is grown in more and more, or which is grown in abundance, is called as plantation agriculture. Where here they can just grow in plantation agriculture, they can just grow the plants in large scale, and even they can gain money through some of the commercial purpose. Commercial purpose, and what is the meaning of commercial purpose? They just grow this plant and they just sell it out for their earn of living. So that is called as commercial purpose. Here, the examples for plantation agriculture, the plants which grow under plantation agriculture are coffee, tea, cocoa. So these are the plants which are grown under the plantation agriculture. And even rubber is also grown here. And which is the largest producer of cocoa? Which is the largest producer of cocoa, children? Yes, Congo in Africa. So in Africa, Ghana and Nigeria are the largest producer of cocoa. They are the largest producer of cocoa. Cocoa is nothing but the chocolate powder. Here, the chocolate powder is prepared with the help of this cocoa. So, which is the largest producer of cocoa in the world? It is the Ghana and Nigeria are the largest producer of cocoa. So, by today we are just completing this lesson, children. I hope that you understood this lesson. In the next class, we'll be discussing about the textbook questions, the objective questions, and I'll be giving you all the answers for these questions. And even get ready for the exams, and your exams are going to start from September 27. It's just going to start in the September the first summative assessment. So even you just get prepared for that also. Even I'm sending the notes also. Please do it, complete it, and you just bring the notes for the correction. And I'll be just giving you a small assignment when you have to bring that assignment also. So I'm just giving you some of the artworks. It's very difficult. You can just read it once and you can practice so that it will be very easier to write in your test. So CHAMELEONS, chameleons. Second one is ANACONDA, anaconda. The third one is pygmies. The fourth one is bantus, BANTUS, bantus. SCMANGS, semanx. Next word is YANOMAMI, Yanomami. Seventh one is KUBUS, kubus. DAYAKS, dayaks. The next one is PLANTATION, plantation. COCOA, cocoa. So these are the 10 words which you will be writing at least 5 times. Practice 5 times, children. So today I'll be ending up your classes. So I think you understood this lesson. So thank you, children. Take care. Bye bye.